you should do the needful within these 2 weeks. Because if you put together the numbers from issue 1, 2, 3, and 4, you are talking well over, you have an idea? Because the first issue is 62 billion, the second issue is 63 billion, like that. So you are talking billions.
Over 100 billion.
Over 150 or thereabout, because 62 plus 63 is already 130 something, 125 billion.
I'm still that's.
You know?
Yes.
So, I mean, just 2 issues. And that's, of course, that cost is worrisome. Where the system or the country needs every kobo to be accounted for.
We have before us Nigerian Customs Service, Abuja, and the audit issues raised on Nigerian Customs Service is on page 418 of the Auditor General's report for the year 2019. Issue number 1. On the remittance of revenue into the Federation account for the year 2017, amounting to 62 billion 242 million 980,006 naira 87 kobo. Section 82, subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, states in part, and I quote, "The Federation shall maintain a special account called the Federation account, into which shall be paid all revenues collected by the government of the Federation." End of quote. Audit was presented with 2 separate reports, namely Nigerian Customs Service Summary of Monthly Revenue Collection 2017 and Nigerian Customs Service Collections and Remittance into Federation Account 2017. Audit observed that 1. In the report of Nigerian Customs Service Summary of Monthly Revenue Collection 2017, total collections for Federation account were 691 billion 266 million 115,031 naira 44 kobo. 2. However, the report of NCSC collection and remittance into Federation account 2017 show actual remittance into Federation account with the CBN for the year under review to be 629 billion 23 million 135,024 naira 57 kobo. And 3. A comparison of these 2 documents reveal an under remittance of 62 billion 242 million 980,006 naira 86 kobo. 4. There was no footnote or any form of additional information attached to the 2 reports showing the reasons for the discrepancy. Neither was any form of communication of management's intention for future reconciliation or remittance. The above anomalies could be attributed to weaknesses in the internal control system at the Nigerian Customs Service Headquarters, Abuja. Risk: loss of government revenue, increase in government borrowing to finance its budget, diversion of public funds. Management response: there was no response from management. Recommendation of the Auditor General: the Controller General is requested to 1. Account for the unremitted sum of 62 billion 242 million 980,006 naira 87 kobo. 2. Remit the sum of 62 billion 242 million 980,006 naira 87 kobo to the Federation account, forwarding evidence of remittance to the Public Accounts Committees of the National Assembly. Otherwise, apply sanction relating to failure to collect and account for government revenue in paragraph 3112 of the financial regulations. That is the first issue, sir.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to start by expressing my sincere apologies for my absence in the previous sittings to address this important issue. As stated by the chairman, I wish to assure this committee that it has nothing to do with the respect with which I hold this committee in quest of this very important national assignment. I'd like to assure you that in the Nigeria Customs Service, submission to legislative authority is non-negotiable. We don't compromise it, and we see legislative compliance not as a matter of obligation, rather it is a duty for us. So with respect to the work of this committee, this borders on entrenching transparency, accountability, and best practices. And if you have followed my trajectory since I took over the administration of the customs, this has been my watchwords, and I'm committed to it, and I intend to be guided by them. It is also gladdening to note that we are taking our lessons from the fact that audit queries are not necessarily indictment. So we will remain open throughout these processes, and in those immediate period after it, we will be committed to running an organization that is better, an organization that is founded on the basis of transparency and integrity. Because of my schedule, I wasn't able to be present here physically when these issues were first noticed. But I want to bring it to the notice of this honorable committee that I am not totally unfamiliar with these issues because they have actually attracted our interest, our attention at the lower parliament. These are issues that are very familiar, most of the issues that are raised there. And I believed that with the team that we have here, we will be able to satisfactorily address those issues that are wrong. The issue of non-remittance, the issue of revenue loss are a very big issue to our country at this time in our history, this period in our history. And the Nigeria Customs Service would not compromise our position in ensuring that all revenue are properly remitted to the country. Now, if I stay here in the next 24 hours, I might not be the person that will be giving answers to some of the issues that will be raised. Most of the time, I would have to resort to the desk officers who are working with me, particularly the officer whose responsibility is directly to manage our collections, our remittance, DC ASEAN, who had also been part of the team that came here before. I'll therefore crave the indulgence of the chairman to request him to respond to the issues raised in issue 1 and all other issues of non-remittance, particularly those in issue 3, 4, and 5. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
2, 3, and 5. 1 to 5, they are all
possibly, it all depends on the perspective. Possibly from issue 1 to 10, they are all, well, we'll take it as it comes. Thank you, sir.
Quickly point out, raise 4 issues here, especially as it relates to this under remittance. You will realize from our reports that it was very clear. The 2 separate reports given to the Auditor General for the Federation emanated from custom. We did not manufacture anything. These are documents you gave us to audit. And there is one thing about audit. It's not sacrosanct. Immediately an audit assignment is concluded, there is supposed to be an exit conference. After the exit conference, the report, which can only be signed by a director from our office, will be sent to you in form of management letter. It is your responsibility to respond to that management letter so that issues can be resolved there and then. If you look at the comment on page 419, there was no response from the management of Nigerian Custom. That's an indictment on its own. So you didn't respond, and from the document you gave us, there was no footnotes or additional information. So definitely, auditors will base their comments, recommendations based on what you have given them. So on this issue, I think the onus lies on Custom to prove that the collection, this under remittance of 62 billion didn't take place. But from what you have in your submission, you even claim that you over-remitted. That is a bit difficult to really believe with what you submitted, because if you want to claim there is an over-remittance, you should back it up with evidence. This one page, I think, is too small to just forget about 62 billion naira. The difference, you should be able to reconcile the difference, and I will suggest that there is need for even Accountant General to come in here, because you have given us a document. Now you have blatantly denied that it wasn't the correct position, and you didn't do any reconciliation. Reconciliation is key here. If Auditor General has claim that you have not remitted 62 billion, the onus lies on you now to reconcile it. Give us a full reconciliation of what transpired. Even the over remittance you claim to have made to the Federation account, you didn't reconcile it. So that is my submission, sir.
Good afternoon, distinguished chairman. Good afternoon, distinguished members of Senate Public Account Committee. Once again, my name is E.A. Sin, the Deputy Controller, Revenue. Mr. Chairman, please, I wish your indulgence to grant me the permission before I address issue 1 that has to do with under remittance of revenue into Federation account for the year 2017 to the tune of 62.2 billion. I would like to state some salient facts that might have led to this conception that this sum was not remitted. The revenue that is remitted by Nigerian Custom into Federation account consists of the import duty, excise, CET, and fees. Now, under the CET levies, if you can see from our response on table 1, you see that we have 9 Federation account levies, which is classified by the Office of the Accountant General. They are CET, and if you look at it, we have indicated the way they are remitted into. We have the CET, which is remitted into Federation account. The wheat flour levy, wheat grain levy, brown rice, rice levy, textile levy, overdue cargo levy, wine levy, cigarette levy. All these are Federation account levies, but they are not remitted into Federation account by the Office of Accountant General. May I make this known that it is not the responsibility of the Nigerian Customs Service to determine where these revenues are remitted to, whether they are remitted for sharing in fact. Our responsibility is to collect this money and it goes into the appropriate account. So as we have stated here, only one out of these 9 Federation account levies is remitted into Federation account for sharing. That's why I put in the note. Note CET CET is remitted into Federation account by the OAGF, while others that are active are remitted into the non-Federation account. So this other 8 Federation account levies is being remitted into the non-Federation account, and which is not the responsibility of Nigerian Customs Service. If you look at the table number 2, we have the NCS collection and remittances for 2017 into the Federation account. If you look at the table, you see the subhead there that is remitted into the Federation account. We have import duty. We have import duty. The collection there for import duty for 2017 was 558,212,691 naira 56 kobo. And if you look at the remittance, we have the remittance of 53.788 billion, which gives you, if you compare that, there is an over remittance. You look at excise of 42.52 billion, 45.23 billion. What was remitted was 45.812 billion, which still translates to an over remittance. Fees, 1.750 billion, and the remittance was 2.062 billion, which is still an over remittance. CET levies, 47.312 billion, and what was remitted was 47.359 billion, which is over remittance. The total collection for that period in question was 627.852 billion. And if you compare that to what was remitted, which is 629.023, you'll notice that for that period in question, there was an over remittance. There was nothing like under remittance. If you check the difference between what was collected and what was remitted, you see that the service remitted over 1.17 billion for that year in question. I put here that the summary of the revenue collection. This can be seen in Appendix A and Appendix B. This Appendix A and Appendix B is the appendix for the collection and remittances that we have. Appendix A.
Appendix A is on page what?
That's what I want to bring out. On my own here, because I really need to make my own very, very clear and transparent. It is on page 7. Let me. Okay, that can be seen in appendix page 10 of the big volume. If you are using the big volume, if you are using this big volume, yes, that's page 10. If you are using this big volume, it's page 10. While I'm using the small one, but I compare. Okay. Okay, sir. So,
are you done?
Yes, sir. Page, if you see page 7, that page 10 shows the collection, and page 11 shows the remittances to central bank. And that's the central bank statement, which is signed by the central bank to confirm the figure that we have put down here.
Why should that be? Why should that be?
Okay, sir. One of the reasons I can give, one of the reasons for the over remittance that you may see is because sometimes one of them is human error. For example, somebody may want to key in 50,000 and in the process can add 2 or 3 figures, and the system automatically would send that to the bank account. There's nothing anyone can do. What will happen is that at the end of the day, the bank will now request for the refunds of that money, which we would proceed. Secondly, some of the things that constitute this is that in the process of remitting, each of the tax head has a particular code that transfer this money. In a situation where a bank picks a wrong code, that code is going to automatically carry that money to an account that is not. What I'm saying here is that you may have maybe a non-federation account, which is some of the things that we have been seeing. And in the process of picking the non-federation account, the banker picks a wrong code, which the money is supposed to go into non-federation account, and it goes into federation account. That is one of the reasons that you may see an over-remittance. The third reason why you can also witness over-remittance is at the cutoff point. There's what we have. Remittance is T+1, while collection is real time. What it means is that by the time an excise trader or an importer goes to the bank to pay this money, the bank will operate till about 5-6. The central bank on each day and on each month and at the end of the year closes roll off by 4. By the time they have rolled off by 4, banks are still collecting. So what you will have the following day would be what was collected later in the day that it was transmitted. So definitely there will always be these discrepancies of over and under remittance, which calls for continuous reconciliation and also bank requesting for refunds where those errors are there. Thank you very much, sir.
We quickly point out, raise 4 issues here, especially as it relates to this under remittance. You will realize from our reports that it was very clear. The 2 separate reports given to the Auditor General for the Federation emanated from custom. We did not manufacture anything. These are documents you gave us to audit. And there is one thing about audit. It's not sacrosanct. Immediately an audit assignment is concluded, there is supposed to be an exit conference. After the exit conference, the report, which can only be signed by a director from our office, will be sent to you in form of management letter. It is your responsibility to respond to that management letter so that issues can be resolved there and then. If you look at the comment on page 419, there was no response from the management of Nigerian Custom. That's an indictment on its own. So you didn't respond, and from the document you gave us, there was no footnotes or additional information. So definitely, auditors will base their comments, recommendations based on what you have given them. So on this issue, I think the onus lies on custom to prove that the collection, this under remittance of 62 billion didn't take place. But from what you have in your submission, you even claim that you over-remitted. That is a bit difficult to really believe with what you submitted, because if you want to claim there is an over-remittance, you should back it up with evidence. This one page, I think, is too small to just forget about 62 billion naira. The difference, you should be able to reconcile the difference, and I will suggest that there is need for even Accountant General to come in here, because you have given us a document. Now you have blatantly denied that it wasn't the correct position, and you didn't do any reconciliation. Reconciliation is key here. If Auditor General has claim that you have not remitted 62 billion, the onus lies on you now to reconcile it. Give us a full reconciliation of what transpired. Even the over remittance you claim, to have made to the Federation account. You didn't reconcile it. So that is my submission, sir.
On the issue of the remittances, I heard him saying there is T+3 for remittance, isn't it? T+1 for remittance, but for collection is real time. Well, as an accountant, I know it's not possible. If you are remitting T+1, you over-remit. You cannot over-remit what you don't collect. So it's a simple logic. I don't understand how you can over-remit what you don't collect. That means there must be something going on that we don't know, that we're not told. That if you can over-remit what you don't have. Yes. Yeah. So that is my own on this over-remit. I want you to just give us what is going on, because we don't understand. You need more explanation. With the explanation you gave, the 3 reasons you gave, to me is not enough for this huge over-remit. If it is something that figures that change, the figures that are not, but this is, we're talking about 1 billion or something like that. No, for over-remittances. For over-remittances, yes. It's about 1 billion, 1.9 or 1.8 billion, so thereabout. So I think it's a huge amount that somebody will say is over-remittance, there is mistake on transfers and whatever. So we need more explanation.
No, only the National Assembly, Nigeria as a whole, expects a paradigm shift. Because it is not normal in this day and age where technology plays a very key role in galvanizing data, and then a well-experienced, long-standing customs like that of Nigeria to have from number 1 to 10 of their queries all centered around and about non-remittance, non-discrepancy, almost the same thing. This happened not under your watch, but of course, leadership, governance is a continuum. You are today at the helm of affairs. So please, going forward, even before we trash all this, under your leadership, we shall not continue to experience such.